Over its years, the Marvel franchise has brought to life deep-rooted fantasies that appeal to everyone's inner superhero fandom. But they also touch on events that impact how we view our own society, whether intentional or not. Using movies such as Iron Man, The Avengers, Captain America the Winter Soldier, and Captain America Civil War, we're going to explore how these films impact the way we view our government and the people in power, and whether or not we'd be okay with trusting our information in their hands. To analyze these films, we'll be using Izod's active imagination and the analysis of film to show the effects of introjection and projection on spectators and see how viewers' active imagination affects their real-world views. Through their films, Marvel realizes with the advent of technology, our information is out in the open and might as well not be considered ours anymore. They make viewers aware of actions in our own government and draw attention to those in power. Marvel is challenging viewers to truly see if they can trust officials they elect in power.
A common theme throughout Marvel films is trust. Trust can range from trust in an individual to trust in an entire ideology.
Hydra was founded on the belief that humanity could not be trusted with its own freedom.
Trust, or the lack thereof, provides central points of conflict to drive the plot and also keep the viewer questioning. It's the driving theme throughout the Captain America series, as Steve Rogers' relationship with Ada is constantly tested by either secrets he isn't aware of or secrets that he's kept himself. However, when it comes to keeping secrets in this universe, no other character does it better than Nick Fury.
Nobody spills the secrets because nobody knows them all.
Nick Fury represents a man who's willing to go to any length in order to assure the safety of the world. Whether he achieves that throughout misdirection and lies doesn't matter to him. The audience knows Nick Fury means to do well. But if we were to imagine someone like Nick Fury in our government, people would have every right to feel suspicious of what's really happening.
Power is represented in many ways throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Whether it's superpowers themselves or a position of power, the struggle for it is always present. In the movie Iron Man, Tony Stark is CEO of a corporation whose business is dealing in power, the manufacture and sale of weapons to the nation's military, or secret dealings with terrorist organizations behind their back. Tony's mentor Obadiah Stane is an example of what could happen if unregulated power ends up in the wrong hands. Moving forward in the MCU, Tony is shown to be more responsible and even realizes that the powers he and the Avengers wield for good can still cause harm if unregulated. In Captain America Civil War, Tony supports the idea of the Sokovia Accords, a treaty that puts the Avengers under jurisdiction of the government. This mirrors debates in our society such as gun control, Iron Man's side representing pro-regulation, while Captain America's side represents independence from government policing.
The government is where both trust and power meet, and is the central figure that impacts our society the most. They are the world's overseers and ensure that any threats to humanity are dealt with. However, in Marvel movies, they are generally seen as an entity to hinder the progress of our heroes. This is usually achieved by implementing regulations or by some hidden hand in an office of power. Regardless, Marvel shows us to be careful with who we elect into these positions. Hydra's invasion of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Dr. Sola's algorithm are two examples of how power and trust are used to impact our society. In Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, it is revealed that Alexander Pierce, a senior member of S.H.I.E.L.D., is actually a Hydra agent and plans to use Project Insight to eliminate people they believe are threats based off an algorithm developed to determine someone's worth from all their private information.
Your bank records, medical histories, voting patterns, emails, phone calls, your damn SAT scores. Zola's algorithm evaluates people's past to predict their future.
While Hydra's infiltration and Project Insight seem like extremes in these films, they have very real parallels in our society. While they might not target us for elimination, Dr. Zola's algorithm directly parallels practices by the NSA, who have access to our personal information on the internet and have been using it to monitor us for potential threats. Hydra's infiltration of S.H.I.E.L.D. can also be related to recent political elections, where some people may not believe that the ideas of a businessman and who he elects into positions of power may not be for the people's best interests. Marvel has toyed with these ideas in other films, and it gives the viewer a sense of awareness to events that they may not realize impact them directly. It makes you wonder who really is pulling all the strings.
There are no strings on me.
Having seen how the themes trust, power, and government play out in the Iron Man, Captain America, and Avengers series, the big takeaway from all this is...
Don't trust anyone.
maybe not exactly that, but to actually be more aware as a society of events unfolding in our own government. Because while we think something may or may not affect us directly, it will in some way later down the line.